Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm DG. Today we're going to be doing a single player, kind of a playthrough of The Forest. I'll be doing a new game. One of our viewers suggested we do a kind of almost an instructional, kind of explain the backstory of the game and some of the mechanics, the crafting and building and stuff. As you can see, you start the game off in a plane. I have my child here with me, half-eaten meal, sweet LCD screen. It looks pretty nice out. Looks like smooth sailing. And then we have this book here. It says, For Timmy. A complete guide to survival. Ladies and gentlemen, that may come in handy. So if you weren't afraid of flying before, oh, I just saw the wing fly off. That's probably not good. I'm sorry, little Timmy. Well, that's creepy. Okay, so some red guy just up and takes my kid. I don't know what to think about that. But I don't think I'm happy. Alright, waking up for realsies this time, covered in blood. Is a wrecked plane for sure. So some of the HUD I'll get you familiar with. That water droplet is water. How much water you need. I don't need any right now. Obviously the shape of the stomach, that's how hungry I am. I am severely hungry. Let's find something to eat right quick. There's a meal. Oh. That sated half of my hunger. You can pick up sodas. That'll be handy for later. Pills. Booze. Of course, booze. You can't be stranded on an island properly unless you have some booze. Eat one more meal. Also, for the bottom right, you can also see that red line. That crescent line is your health. The teal crescent line on the opposite side is your energy. See if I run. Oh, well. If I swing this axe, see how that goes down. And that recoups pretty quickly. By the way, I just tore this axe from this flight attendant's torso. I know, it's lovely. It's a good start to this game. And then that blue crescent line that's right next to the energy bar is kind of like your maximum energy. So that slowly goes down when you're severely hungry. So your maximum amount of energy will go down. It'll be less and less. So you won't be able to recover nearly as much. So, and then I'm guessing after that blue line, that blue crescent line disappears, I'm guessing that's when you die of starvation. I don't know. I've never had that happen before. Food is pretty easy to come by. Okay, so we have this passenger manifesto. Look at our inventory. The inventory shows up as all of your items on a tarp. Now there isn't like a weight limit. It's just you have an item limit for every single individual item. So I have 4 soda cans here. That has no bearing on how much booze I can have. I think the maximum amount of soda is like 10, and then booze is 10. Oh, yeah, one more thing. It's a pretty important part is the guidebook, which gets you really it gets you started off on the basics, and it helps you explain all the crafting. This is where you get all the crafting and the building. So it explains how to build a shelter, fire, and then foraging for food. You go to shelters, it'll show you all the shelters you can build. And then food and water, storage, fires, custom building, which is pretty fun. Defensive structures, elevated structures, so you can build yourself some tree houses. Utility structures, this is a whole bunch of miscellaneous things. Like a stick marker here, that's like, so you can find it later. It'll show a gray flag or a colored flag off in the distance, so you can find that place later. Because you don't have a map. You kind of just have to remember where things are, unless you have markers. Furniture, decorations, a decorative skull, you know. Animal traps, wire traps, explosive traps, all kinds of stuff. This is like protective stuff. A boat, a houseboat, a dock, that's pretty cool. Effigies, which are pretty sick, but you know, in case you feel like making a statue with a bunch of arms or a bunch of arms, legs, and heads, you know, whatever you're into. Okay, so this is our to-do list. This is the main objective. These are the objectives you have. So I'm guessing the main objective is to find your son, Timmy. Set up camp, find the missing plane passengers. You know, that's third on the list. These are your stats. Dave survived, armor, cold armor, all this kind of stuff. I don't know if sanity works. I don't know that I've seen that change. Maybe that will be something in the future. This is in alpha, by the way, so it's got some time to be complete. I think this is misspelled. This is Bestery. I don't know. I thought Beast had an A in it. So I'm pretty sure that's misspelled, but I could be wrong. So here's the crafting section. This is where it explains how to craft. You do that in your inventory with that tarp thing. You just combine things together and you make all kinds of stuff. Bombs, bows and arrows, axes, you know, water skins, rope, all kinds of stuff. So armor. And here's your nature guide, so you can check off things you found, like plant-wise, in the areas. And I'm assuming this will be, you know, for future, all of these other grayed out things, blurred out things. So, oh, and then here's animals and stuff. And then notes. This is, at first when I saw the notes section, I thought like, oh, cool, I can put in my own notes. But it is not so. It's just kind of like pictures and little things you find around. I think there's like clues to help you figure out what's going on. And that's pretty much the book. And then this, you know, it has a table of contents. So you can just quickly go to it. So, all right, let's get out of this. Let's get down. So what do I have? I have an axe, lighter, a talkie-walkie? I think it's a walkie-talkie. That really, it's only helpful when you're in multiplayer. Otherwise, I don't think... It says, or as a distraction device, but I don't know how you would use that as a distraction. I don't know. So I don't really have much here. Oh, here's the passenger manifest. So this is like the list of people I have to find. Blank T, that's my son, I assume, and then blank E. So our last name is Blank. Very clever. Very clever. I think this spawns at a random location every single time. Then you got a whole bunch of debris. You got suitcases, which are very helpful at the start. That's pills and cloth. Every suitcase has a cloth in it. You know, I guess clothes and stuff. You will collect so much cloth, but that's okay. You use it for some stuff. I haven't found a ton of use for it, but then watches, I think that's used for explosives. Some of these things you can just, like a tennis ball, there's like tennis ball and pebble and stuff like that. Those things you can't you can't put in your inventory. You can just throw them. I'm guessing that's to make noise and distract them to go in that direction. I'm not really quite sure. Then we have bushes here with like berries and stuff. This, what kind of a berry is that? I think it explains kind of briefly. Okay, right here. Black twinberry. That is toxic, so I don't want to eat that. Your first objective really is to forage for things, food, go through these suitcases and collect what food and sodas you can, because those are helpful, very helpful at the start. You have to start a camp before it gets dark, or not a campfire, but like a shelter. That's where you sleep at, because at night is when the baddies really come out. Oh, I got money. That's going to be super helpful. Is there a Walmart nearby you can get supplies from? When you like cut down just ferns and little bushes and stuff, you collect leaves. You'll have tons and tons, hundreds of leaves. That's for like stoking fires and stuff. Okay, so rocks and sticks are important at the very beginning of the game because we want to make a shelter. Let's build one on the side, right here between a rock and a hard place. No, between a rock and the plain. So that'll give us a little bit of cover, I guess. So we got to go to our guidebook. Let's just do a basic. Well, temporary shelter I think only lasts one night. So let's do something that'll last at least, you know, for as long as it doesn't get destroyed. Let's just put that right here. So you see down at the bottom that those are all the things that are required. It also shows on the bottom left how many things you need and how many of each thing you have. We didn't have enough sticks or rocks to fill that out. We also need logs, so I'm gonna have to cut down a tree. Whichever way you are facing, that's the way the tree is gonna fall. I think it takes like 15 swings or so to cut down a tree. Oh wow, they automatically turned into shaved logs for us. Pretty nice. You can only carry 2 at a time. Only. As if I could carry any at a time. Which means you're pretty buff, I would think. So you carry 2 at a time. Place them in there. A tree has 4 to 5 logs. Usually 4. That's generally what I see, but sometimes there's a 5th log in there. Okay. How many logs? Okay, this will take care of the logs. One more. Oh, so yeah, this one dropped 5 altogether. So we want to kind of collect them, even though we only need 1 more. We want to collect them because you will need them later on. Some of these buildings take forever to build. Sticks, we need 2 sticks. Here, let's try and find. Man. Really, it depends on where you are. Oh, I just picked up some kind of a flower. Those are used in crafting, like meds and stuff. Depending on where you are, different things are more abundant. Like right here, I don't have a lot of stick trees, so I guess sticks are going to be a little bit harder to come by. Oh, there's a stick. You can find sticks on the ground, but it's a lot easier and quicker to chop down these little stick trees, which I'm not finding. Oh, see, we got a little pond here. This is helpful because right at the start, you don't have like water source other than the sodas. So I don't think this water is great for you because you get hurt a little bit when you drink it. Whatever that was. So I guess I don't like the water. But you can boil water too, eventually. But oh, that's a weak spear. You can spear the fish too. Pretty cool. So that'll be a nice food source. Come on. Ah. Oh, see, I got myself a fish. It's pretty cool. And collect it. You can put those on the fire and they'll cook, or on a drying rack. I recommend a drying rack, though I don't know for this small of meat you can put on a drying rack, but eventually getting a drying rack is ideal. And we'll finish off this shelter so that when it becomes dark, we can sleep. Now this is also where you'll be able to save. Now the shelter takes many different forms. It could be a house. You can custom build a house and it'll be like a sleeping bag or something. But that will be your sleep area where you take up, I think it's got to be like 8 hours or so. So if I were to sleep right now, it would be in the middle of the night. So I got to wait for night to sleep so that it'll be morning when I wake up. And you can't sleep when enemies are nearby, so you have to kill them before that. So you can save. I'm going to do that right now. So we saved it. It's saying I really need to eat. And so I think the airplane starts off with 4 of those food things. Which is kind of hard to get back onto, but so you're okay for a little while. I'm just going to finish off the food. That way I don't have to come back up here. But yeah. So it is getting pretty dark actually, so we may be able to sleep pretty soon. Oh, see, I got fresh raw fish. The meats, like you can get generic meat, which is basically birds and stuff, and then you get rabbit meat, lizard meat, deer meat, all kinds of stuff. And you see how it says fresh, it'll eventually go edible and then rotten or spoiled or something. So we don't have our fire, which is okay because we don't want a fire going at night anyhow. That will attract danger, and we do not need that right now, especially this early in the game. You are pretty much defenseless at the very start. That's kind of just the basic run through the game. There are things in this game I have not yet explored. Maybe I'll do another one of these do another one of these videos once I get deeper into the game and show more of what the game has to offer. It's kind of fun. It's interesting, you know, having to build things to survive on an island. So I will be able to sleep right now, and in the morning, hopefully I will be waking up. Yep, perfect. Okay, so I think that's a good basic rundown of the game. Hopefully there will be more videos, and I will catch you guys later. Hey guys, DG here. I want to thank you all for watching. I'd love to hear some feedback on what you want to see, what you liked and didn't like. Leave me some love. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.